What is going on YouTube? It is Devin the Day Trader here, back on YouTube with another very informative video for today. So a lot has changed since the last time I uploaded a video to YouTube. The last time I uploaded one was probably back in January of 2017, and it is now December of 2017. So nearly a 1 year time span since my last upload, and a lot has changed since then. If you guys actually watched the last video, then you know that I was heavily into penny stocks at the time, and that's the only thing I can trade. But the summer of this year, I actually decided to branch out and learn something new, and I got into options trading. Now, the reason why I found options trading to be so appealing at the time is because, for me, my account was only $1,250. So the cash doesn't settle overnight with regular stocks because I do not have a margin account. E-Trade requires a $2,000 account in order for you to sign up to margin, and like I just said, I don't have that money in my account right now. So with options, cash settles overnight, and it's really ideal for somebody with small accounts because the moves are just as big as penny stocks, but the contracts are much cheaper. For example, if you buy contracts in the SPY or the Qs, the IWM, some of those can be pretty cheap, costing probably under $1 a contract depending on what you try to buy. So you can load up on a few contracts there if you have the account size big enough and you're comfortable for it, with only spending about like $500. So I'm not really doing that yet. I'm still trying to play with 1 or 2 contracts, and I'm getting the hang of it. I'm trying to learn. Last time I posted a video, I took a $60 loss, and that video at the time my account was $1,240 after that loss. So I've only gained $10 since then, but that's because I've only taken 4 trades. School has really been getting in the way of me actively trading. So now that I'm on my winter break, hopefully I can get back into that. So like I said, I took 4 trades. One of them was XGTI, which I took a $60 loss on. Another one was the QQQs, which I ended up swinging overnight and took a nice $22 profit on that one. Next one was the SPY. I took a nice $18 profit on that one. So I was only $20 away from my level at the start of the year, which was $1,300. And today I ended up taking a pretty big hit on the account of $37. And for some of you guys, that might not seem like a big loss, but for my account size, that's pretty enormous, seeing as that's almost 4% of my account. But for some reason, I'm not really upset about that loss. Now, I don't know if it's because I predicted the stock to roll over or if I followed my plan and just executed it. Either way, a big problem for me is identifying, or not identifying, the trade. I see setups all the time, but it's actually taking the trade and committing to it. For some reason, my ultimate fear is losing in this game, and maybe it's just because my drive, and I hate losing, and I hate sending out those text messages to people that are close to me that follow what I do because they find it interesting. But for some reason, I just can't stand the loss because it stings. And today is different because, like I said, I don't feel that pain, and that's really weird because I've never felt that before. If anything, I'm feeling excited that I'm actually pulling the trigger. seeing setups and following through with them, because I feel like that's more rewarding than sitting back and watching these plays run without me. So it's going to be a little bit different from the last time I made a video. I'm not really sure how to do this because when I was trading penny stocks, I would just go over the biggest movers. So instead, what I'm doing, I have my watch list here, so maybe I'll just go over a few of those, starting with a few ETFs and then maybe the bigger name stocks that I trade. I mostly trade technology, and as you guys can see, basically this whole entire list is red today, except for like Walmart, and my watch list ends at NVDA. You can't remove these from your watch list on investing.com for some reason. So first off, let's start with my trade. So as you guys can see here, I traded the Qs, like I said earlier. We had a really nice sort of bounce off of the 50 EMA right there. Let's just hide some of these moving averages real quick. And as you guys can see, we have bounced off those 50 EMAs before, so that wasn't really a surprise. So we moved up, we dipped, we moved up again, and we had a really gorgeous gap on Friday higher. And yesterday I thought what we were going to do, we were going to gap, we were going to retest that high, and then we were going to take off, but instead we kind of just floated in midair. And I didn't really feel comfortable taking any trades on Monday for that reason, seeing as most of my watch list kind of dipped up, and they never really came back down, they just floated in midair. And I would hate to get in an options trade midday, only to have it just roll over. So my thought process today is that I drew a line off of Friday's highs, thinking that we would bounce off it. So I had a few stocks on watch today. I had the Qs, I had Apple, I had NVDA, and I also had, I think that was really it. Oh, and I had SPY on watch as well. So here's my thought process on the Qs. So I seen we had an indecision candle. So either we break lower or we break higher, that's going to decide where we go. And since the indecision candle was more bearish than bullish, once we broke below that, I mean, we just completely sold off. So at the time I was looking at this one and Apple because Apple was also following my plan, and I'll get into that one later. So at the time I seen the Qs bouncing off of that level right there, off of that blue line that I drew earlier in the day. So I was feeling really good about this. I wasn't going to have this play run without me because I drew the line and it literally to the exact penny went down to that line. So we bounced off it. We had an indecision candle, so that was really good. I decided to enter on the next green candle to follow at 157.95. I bought 2 contracts at 44 cents with a 158.50 call with a December 22nd expiration date. So we moved higher, and I was feeling really good about this trade. Then the 10 EMA came, really long upper shadow. Kind of scared me a little bit because we didn't break through that 10 EMA. If we broke through that 10 EMA, all would have been good. I think we would have seen 158.50 easily today. So we pulled back. The next candle, higher again. I was really feeling good about it again. Big, long upper shadow. So I think those really, if you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 long upper shadows in a row. So that was kind of scaring me out because that might be a good indication that we were going bearish. So we tapped that EMA again and we rolled over. And as you guys can see, we're kind of popping higher, but who knows what's going to happen. I mean, we have the tax bill going today. So a lot of hype is off that tax bill, but you just don't know if we're going to go higher or lower as a result. So we rolled over and I decided to exit on that red candle right there. We got that close underneath that level, and I was like, okay, we closed under that level. We didn't doji off it. We didn't bounce off it. We just completely closed. So in order to save myself, I just exited right there. So my stop was 24 cents on 2 contracts, and my entry was 44. So I was risking about probably a good $55. So I was able to shorten my loss by 20 bucks. And I think that's the reason why I'm feeling so determined, is because I predicted this rollover. And I'm happy to know that since the candle closed underneath that blue line, then that was a clear indication to get out. And I would have gotten stopped out at my original stop of 24 cents. So that makes me feel really well because I followed my plan, I seen it wasn't working, and I didn't bag hold. I just got out right there. So once I exited, we pulled back a little further down to the actual place where we gapped at, which was the high of 65, 157.65, and the low of that green candle hammering was a low of 69. So we bounced off that level. We kind of had a tweezer top here at 93, and then we went lower before kind of bottoming out right there. So we're going higher. I mean, I'm not really sure if this can move higher because the day is pretty red and tech is doing really bad as well. So maybe we bounce off the 20 and roll over again. But I'm done for the day. I mean, it's just all red. I'm not going to take any chances and dig myself into a further hole. So that was my trade on the Qs. Like I said, no big deal. My account is at $12.50. I just need a $50 trade, or $50 to be at the exact value that I started the year at. And I think that would be a pretty good run for me because this year has been rough. I'd take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And a big part of that is because commissions are still really brutal on my account. And for those of you guys who don't know, Robinhood just announced free commissions. So I think that's pretty cool as well. I'm going to see where they decide to go with that, or free commissions with options. So anyways, the next stock we're going to go over today, or not really a stock, is the SPY. So again, the SPY is the same as the Qs. Gapping on Monday, floating up really sideways on Monday. I drew these 2 lines here because that blue line, a retest of, I don't know what day that is, the 13th high, and that the top blue line is a retest of Monday's highs. So that was my trade on the SPY, that long green candle right there. I should have held overnight. Let me scroll back to that actually so you guys can see. So I ended up getting in on the SPY on Friday, right there, right before that big move up, and then I exited right there. So the reason why I wanted to really hold this play overnight, But when we got this massive rip of 265.65 up to 266.31, I just thought the move was done. There was just no way that I thought we were going higher. As you guys can see, 31 was the high there, 30 was the high there, and we both pulled back on that level. So that kind of scared me a little bit, and when I see that we weren't flagging and that we were just closing lower and lower each time, I just called it quits, got out right there for a nice $18 gain. Like I said, nothing special. It would have been a lot more if I didn't have to pay the commissions that I do, but it's no big deal. I mean, it would have been like a $44 winner if I didn't have to pay commissions. And we just ended up cranking out higher through the rest of the day anyways. So hindsight 2020 should have held for my original plan. That's just something that I got to get used to. So anyways, for today, nothing really interesting happening. I drew that blue line because it was, like I said, it was Friday's highs. And we're kind of retesting that now. But as you got, like I said, the market is just rolling over today, so I don't really feel like taking another support trade today. Maybe we'll see something form tomorrow, but as of now I don't really see anything. Qs are still undeniably bullish. I mean, look at this trend straight up. Not really much going on there. I mean, if you're bearish, then you're just wrong. There's nowhere else to say this. Maybe you got a few bearish days in here, sure, that you made money on, but overall we're still really bullish on the Qs. Maybe tomorrow we gap down a little bit lower before going higher. Really retest Friday's highs there of 267.04 before actually moving higher, but who knows. IWM, not really doing much. The high today is 154.75, which is 2 pennies higher than that blue line up there. And I drew that off of the hourly chart, I think, as well. Yeah. So clear indication. The Qs are still looking good. We're bouncing off the 10 EMA on the hourly, so that's a good sign there. Maybe we might move higher at the end of the day, but who knows? Time will tell. And then Apple, this was another trade I was actually looking at in the middle of the day. And, you know, this trade would have worked out way better, and for some reason I didn't decide to take it. And as you guys can see here, that was the channel that was forming on Apple. So yesterday we had a very clean shaved bottom candle, almost perfectly by 2 pennies. And I didn't really feel like buying this because we had this channel forming here, and what I thought we would do is we would gap, move lower to that blue line, and then take off. But instead we gapped and we just went higher. And like I said on the, what did I say that on? I'm not sure. But I didn't want to buy an options contract play right in the middle of the day and then end up having it roll over to that blue line. So instead I just played it safe. I just didn't touch it. And today we got exactly what I wanted to happen again, just like on the Qs. So we opened up, we went higher, and then we rolled over right down to that blue line, which was Friday's highs yet again. And I was watching this trade, but for some reason I didn't take it. I looked at the Qs, and I seen the Qs had a little bit better of an indication on that indecision candle right there. So I just took this trade thinking that it would have worked out better, and it obviously didn't. We just rolled over. Apple had a really better play. I don't remember the contract I was watching, but at the time of me watching it, it was at 95 cents, and that ended up going to $1.05. So as you guys can see, we bounced off that blue line, we went higher, and then the same thing happened. We almost touched that blue line, or the pink line, and I'm sure we would have if extended hours was on. And then we kind of just rolled over again. So this would have been a better shorter term play if I decided to go 2 contracts on this one as well. But I ended up just taking the Qs instead. NVIDIA is another really good stock that I like because come on. Why is this not going? There we go. So NVIDIA is another nice stock that I like. As you guys can see here, the top blue line is 200 resistance. As you guys can see, that big massive red day opened up at 200, just faded all day. The day before that, hit a high of 200, faded all day. That huge lower gap, we hit 200, bounced, gapped higher, almost hit 200 there, 200 there, 200 there. So as you guys can see, 200 is a really solid resistance line for this stock. And as you guys can see, we are double bottoming really well on this stock, and we are getting kind of a little pullback today. So my guess is maybe there's 2 things that are going to happen. Either we rip in the middle of the day due to the tax bill going on, and we ended up touching 200 and gapping above it on Wednesday, or we close kind of in a really tiny candle like we are today, gap lower tomorrow, retest that neckline, and then we rip to 200. So either way, it's going to be interesting on NVIDIA to see what happens. As you guys can see here, it's that double bottom also off the 200 or the 100 simple moving average. So the people who bought off that level right there sold it at 196. The people that bought it right there probably selling at 196 again. Really clear play. And if we look at the 5-minute chart here, we didn't quite make it down to that retest level, and I really didn't want to get in early in case we like popped up and then we really pulled back and broke through that level. So I'm just still gonna wait until we retest and then go higher. I think that's the plan on NVIDIA. I really like NVIDIA calls for 200, so we'll see what happens here. Again, NVIDIA is another play that's undeniably bullish. Gap up, boom, boom, boom. That's what we're doing on most names. Holiday season's coming up, and I haven't traded these stocks during the holidays yet. But a lot of people say that they're really bullish simply because of the fact that everybody's Christmas shopping. So that's a thing to be excited for. Baba, nothing interesting here. Kind of chopping around on Baba. We had a good stair-step pattern back here. Like that, and then kind of a double bottom with the neckline where that blue line is. Or not double bottom, double top. Let me draw that out for you guys. Up, 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 up. With close below the neckline of the double top. And we ended up going lower on that one. So as you guys can see, that 178 level acting as some serious resistance. Doji'd off that level, gapped lower. Kind of chomping around on Baba. I thought for sure we were going to see 200 by the end of 2017. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen anymore, simply because of the fact we are so choppy. We are under the 100 simple right now, and we're not even near the 200 simple. So anyways, I think that is going to be the stock review for today. Hopefully you guys were able to take something away from this. This was something new for me, like I said, because before I would normally just go off of the top movers for the day for penny stocks. So if this was able to help you guys out at all, make sure to hit that subscription button up at the top of the screen and post a comment down below. If you would like to see me do something different as well, or if you would like for me to go slower, really review stocks by going into the weekly and the monthly charts, make sure to leave that down below as well. I'll take all feedback into consideration, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.